of the things that I've been asked to address in this video is what my most important teaching philosophies are, and I really feel that they dovetail with my personal expectations or my personal vision for what makes a good music program. And I think they dovetail together because you teach in the way that you believe is important. I just feel that we need to be consistent in all that we do and all that we say so that children know what's expected of them at all times, and it gives them that cushion of fitting in and being able to be themselves. I think that we need to teach all of the basics. These children can function musically in whatever they choose to do. Of course, we're going to teach melodic notation, we're going to teach movement, we'll foster creativity and composition in these students. But I think the most important nugget in what I feel is important in a music program, what I feel is the most important thing to hold near and dear as an elementary school music teacher is to create opportunity for joy. When we can get the joy flowing in a classroom, oh, this is so fun. It's the memory of that joy that is going to propel them and impel them to join and choose to be in music when they move on to middle school or high school. It will be that memory of the joy that we've planted the seed for in elementary music that creates a lifelong musician or a lifelong consumer of music. And as they're practicing away on their instruments, it's the memory of the joy that says, just keep your eye on the prize, and propels them forward. I just think that we plant the seed, we grow the trunk of that tree, and when the branches start branching out in middle school, high school, and beyond, that's when we see our singers, that's when we see our orchestra players, that's when we see our new music teachers going through a music education program. It's the memory of that joy that takes them there. I've had many happy and proud moments as a music educator. I think the topper was with an autistic student who came to us in kindergarten with no concept of how to match pitch. And watching him struggle, he hung in there until about 5th grade. He would struggle and struggle and struggle. No concept of how to do that. And finally he'd reached his limit. He couldn't help himself. And I just didn't have the tools to do it myself. The kids did. They decided that they were going to help him match pitch, so they started working at recess, they started working at lunchtime, and they all coached him as only a child can coach a child. And they came parading into the music room one day, and it was time for a pitch matching exercise. When it was this student's turn to sing, out came this beautiful new voice that none of us had ever heard, totally unbeknownst to me. And it was a joyous moment. We just threw our hands up and cheered and roared and cried, and it was lovely. It was why I do what I do. A little bit down the road from this event, we were involved in a digital storytelling project. And I decided to use the story of this young man and his caring classmates as the subject of a video that we made. It ended up winning a state competition, and it's shown over and over and over again in digital storytelling presentations around the country. In these days of dwindling school budgets, one of my most significant challenges has been, how do I fund activities and materials and supplies for my classroom? I have been the box tops coordinator for my school since the inception of the program, so that I can just do anything that I feel we need to do to reach every learner in my classroom. Thank you, Box Tops for Education, because you have made a big difference. One of my biggest challenges as a music educator is to make sure that all of my students are engaged and successful in each class. I use the writings of Dr. Edwin Gordon as my starting point with this, and I spiral with the kids. And at any point, if any of my learners are feeling overwhelmed, they can spiral back down and do it at a level that they're comfortable with. Some kids take more than one class to let that information percolate down through. You can see evidence of this in my teaching video segment of this portfolio, and I have a ukulele class, and I explain to the students that if they are comfortable playing on the steady beat, to please play on the steady beat. If they're able to come up to the next level and strum more often, that's great, because it all dovetails. And for my gifted child in that particular class, I wrote out
a melody line for him to play along with the ukulele players. That's my big challenge, and that is trying to get every learner engaged and successful.
Another item that I've been asked to address is other ways that I have a positive effect on my community and my school. And I really feel that trying to reach each learner on their own level so that they can find their own way into being a musician is of prime importance. Just trying to mix it up so that we just reach every single learner. And in doing so, trying to find activities that dovetail with the core curriculum, and finding music that I can use to help out with math, or help out with spelling words, or help out with reading. In trying to dovetail with the Common Core, I believe that we can have a positive impact and be an important part of our school.